What's up, guys?
Hey.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, AR. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Hey,
That's the
buddy.
first time anyone's asked me how I am.
Really?
It's
No,
not.
it's
But you asked it in a way that I was like, oh.
No, I remember asking you like 3 years ago when we met too.
I was just about to come to that. Like,
Oh.
we met just recently on the set of Manu's music video.
Yep. Yeah, after a while.
But before that we met on the Smoke City Session set.
We
For
did,
sure,
yes.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
That
That,
was-
How long ago was that?
That was our second trip to Lahore.
was
yeah?
March.
That was the True Brew showtime?
That was the
Yeah,
True Brew
March,
show.
first
Yeah.
week.
That
I
was in
think.
March, like second week March, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Like 6-7 months ago.
So what brings you back to this good city?
You know how it is. People like us here.
People do like us here. I don't know
Recording
why.
music. Just the same releases that people were expecting, you know what I mean, back then
Mm.
when we did the shows, just wrapping those up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just before we started rolling, you guys made me listen. Not made me listen, but I begged you,
You chose
to listen.
That was of your own doing.
to two of the new singles that are probably about to come out. But I don't know if by the time this comes out, they will already be out. But they are absolute bangers.
Chances
man.
are
Thank
that
you.
one of them.
Absolute bangers. Like, honestly, I was feeling a little bit like low on energy. I heard and now I've heard both of them. I'm like,
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
Great to hear. One of those songs, Filhaal, should be out by the time this drops. If all goes well, inshallah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for
So
sure.
Yeah.
That's a big. That's
Why the delay on such an amazing, like, big song?
AR the world shut down, dude.
Come on.
But that's why we need music to listen to.
I don't know. A lot of people told me that the quarantine for them was like this creative haven. For me, it was the opposite. Personally, it was like jail. It was like you can't. What's gonna inspire you?
Yeah, for
Death,
sure.
Like the death and everything that's around you.
Yeah.
It wasn't very conducive to free creation personally for me.
Mm-hmm.
But
It was fun in games till I actually got corona, and then
Oh, yes.
there was like a spike in like cortisol.
Oh, shit. What happened?
It was a fever for like 3-4 days.
Uh-huh.
But after that, it was okay. I turned on the PlayStation after a long time. Played some Call of Duty, and then I was like, "What am I doing with my life?"
Yeah.
So I stopped playing, and
Even though that's the one time where you'd be like, it's fine to play Call of
Seriously,
Duty.
yeah, absolutely.
but then
It's
like killing virtual human
you're
beings
not really
is
wasting
not very
anybody's
conducive.
time. You can literally just zone out and play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So yeah,
How
but
was the recovery?
I was like,
Rough?
I tried to go back to work straight after, and there was like a heat wave in Karachi, which was hard.
Mm.
Yeah, it sort of left me weak, and I was like, okay, I can't do it at the same pace as I was before.
Yeah. I've heard people like, not like still feeling like a lot of some, what do you call it? Like residual effects. Like, are you feeling that or?
I'm not conscious of it.
Okay. Think hard.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Alhamdulillah,
That's cool.
yeah, I'm
That's
good.
cool.
yeah,
So-
there was a lot. I mean, after the corona and after the heat wave, the floods.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
We planned to come to Lahore a lot earlier, and it didn't really work out just because of that. You know what I mean, taking care of things at home.
I think after LMM and True Brew, which were like the peak for us, I guess it's fair to say
as a
that
band, yeah.
I think
as
that's
a
fair
band,
to
it was
say,
like
yes.
performing live, doing live shows, performing LMM, and then True Brew was amazing. We didn't expect to have all of this attention on us, and all of it was obviously like amazing, but like, and
Then
then
where do you go from
the
there?
moment that was like the corona pata nahi ho raha lekin okay, we're doing really well, and then we went back home and everything just shut down, like
Yeah, even like the day we were about, Changez had left early then also, and because he's also leaving early from this trip.
That's
which
my
is
MO.
Fine, yeah.
yeah, that's
But,
cool, that's cool.
Last time he had left right before the first few cases were reported in Karachi. So when we got on the plane about a week after he left, we were just hearing about these cases, like 10 a day, 15,
Yeah.
20 a day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the plane, people didn't really know how to act. You know what I mean? Are they sick? Are they scared of getting sick? Nobody knew.
Mm.
So
There's a distinct lack of information as
Yeah.
well. So even people who are generally like up to, the knowledge mark were just like, what is actually happening? Yahudi sazish hai ya nahi hai?
Yeah.
But then we got back and it was
It's all from a
immediate
lab in
lockdown,
Wuhan.
Oh my god. Is this turning into a conspiracy theory podcast?
I would honestly love for it.
You give me Alex Jones vibes.
Do it.
Come on.
I
Did
would
it
ju-
really happen, guys?
yeah.
Did it?
I
But
would
you have
really
to
love
you
it.
have to get the scream down. That's what
Yeah.
it is. You have to get the Alex Jones scream.
Yeah. No, I don't have that. But I've got my own. Maybe we can make this into a conspiracy theory podcast. I would absolutely love it. I love conspiracy
I'd
theories.
want to talk about some music and then we can get into
I'd
conspiracy.
rather make this a podcast
All right,
about
guys.
conspiracy theory podcast.
Fine, let's make it a part.
All right, nerds, tell me about your music. Wait, but
So-
you guys have a really good time in Lahore, that means.
Yeah,
I love
I mean, this is the
Lahore. Are you
third time we're here
surprised?
this year, you know
Right?
what I mean? Yeah.
You have True Brew, you had LMM, which were both amazing. You had the
Phenomenal.
Smog City Sessions, which was obviously going to be the
amazing,
highlight of
yeah.
your trip.
Of course.
Yeah, that was the best.
Obviously.
Oh my god, the bugs all over me. That was the best feeling.
I love snakes.
And Misbah told us there's snakes there, and I was like,
Amazing.
nope.
Yeah.
We love
Nope,
snakes.
nope.
But you guys only have, how many releases do you officially have out?
Right now, as of this podcast coming
As
out,
of this podcast?
one.
Which is?
Andhere mein.
Andhere mein.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But as of this podcast coming out, it will be Filhaal on all streaming platforms. Right now, on
Yeah.
streaming platforms, nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, you know...
Isn't
just
that
do
weird? Don't you
things.
find that guys weird? That you're
Leading question.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, but I mean the way we came back together, started performing. So basically, we Bilal applied for LMM and he got it, and then we had made Towers and we had left. We're like, "Yes, sir, the kuch nahi, hum to musicians to nahi hai."
It was like 2 years once we thought about the band name Towers,
Yeah, and then we made
made
the
a
logo.
song.
Yeah,
It was,
And sorry to cut you off, the album art as well.
Mm.
We're like, ye to hona
हाँ
chahiye.
ये
Yeah.
पहले बना
Band
लेते
name,
हैं, गाने-
album art?
गानों की खैर है.
See you guys later.
in like a few minutes, all of this happened. We made a song and
The graphic.
like a graphic and
right.
whatever, and the band name, and then we just went about our own lives for like 2 years.
Mm.
You know, work, whatever, and then when LMM came around, I applied. And I didn't think I'd get it because, again, same thing. Even as a solo artist, I didn't have like music out on platforms and shit.
Mm.
So I applied, and whatever music I sent them, I guess they liked, and they told me, yeah, come on and perform. But then I was like, what? I can't go on that stage alone.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
So that's how the band got
Yeah,
together?
10 days before LMM, we got together and made these songs and did the show.
And you guys
half-hour
have been
set.
friends for a while.
Yeah,
A long while.
really long time.
Chuddy buddy type.
Chuddy
Yeah.
buddies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally ऐसा ही scene है.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to ask you, because we did that video
The
in Androon. What, was it in Androon?
the Mosiki
Yeah.
Angan,
Angan Tera, yeah,
Yeah.
that was before the Smog City
Yeah,
session.
yeah,
So we
yeah.
did that sort of quite
like
fun.
2018?
Yeah, that was a while ago now.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was like, so moving that from a solo artist then into a band, what's that process been like? How has it been collaborating with each other?
Oh my God! I mean,
Because this is the first band we've had on the podcast, like as a band.
That's true. I didn't really take that
Flex.
into account.
Flex.
But
Flex.
yeah, our creating process is really just critical of each other.
Mhm.
So like we'll jam and we'll do a bunch of things, and then somebody will say I like that, and then that's the focal point, and we build on that.
So, for instance, the song you heard right before we started, Filhaal, we were messing around. I think this is the lead up to True Brew.
No, to true.
Yeah,
To True Brew. And we were just messing around. Jam was over. And Ashir was like going through his little Volca sample situation, going through different beats. And he played something. And Bilal and I were going out for a smoke and we stopped. And we're like, dude,
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Total cliche story like that's
this one, that's the sound.
Nobody
Hips are shaking.
Watching it, be like, "क्या ये तो इन्होंने like scripted है." But like literally, I had that beat stuck in my head like tick, 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 like all the time, and I just put it on the vocal, and I was like, "ये तो नहीं बनेगा गाना." And then these guys are like, "Oh wait, what the fuck is that?" And I was like, "ये पहले इतनी सारी beat सुनाई, वो पसंद नहीं है, ये अजीब सी उल्टी सीधी सी तुम्हें पसंद आ गई."
Yeah.
And yeah, we had True Brew leading up to the few
It
days.
was just trying to fill an hour. Really, all we were trying to do was fill
literally
an
were
hour.
like, हाँ अच्छा ये गाना बना लेते हैं, इसमें lyrics कुछ add कर लेंगे, and you know we just were inspired sort of from things that happened.
We were excited
Yeah, we
because
were really excited, and that energy is translated into the song. This and another one called Puri Raat.
And you're gonna hear it, and it's gonna be great.
and that's our plug for this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, see you guys. When's the album coming out?
The album is.
Yeah, you said you
real
need to fill an hour,
questions.
so
We filled that hour.
Real
Yeah.
We
questions.
had
With
those
originals?
songs- all originals,
All
yeah, no
originals.
covers. We did about, I think, 17 songs in total that we have now. Not every one I personally want on an album, but
True.
yeah, we're working that out. You know what I mean?
ooh, awkward.
I mean,
oh.
lyrically, a lot of those songs are. So Bilal has this writing process, which he'd just be humming something over like a a long period of time. It's not like a few days. It's like
Months, like-
few months. Like on my old phone, Billy would send us. We had like a Towers group on WhatsApp, and he'd send us voice notes of like ideas. So like idea 338, idea 572, idea. Now we're moving into the thousands. You know.
I feel like that's the best way to capture the band's history is through that WhatsApp convo where it's just one jam meeting like thing, and then just 2 years of voice notes from me.
And then like an amalgamation of all of those would become like a song. You know. So there's this historical context to a lot of the songs.
Right. And so it's just iterations after iterations after iterations.
Process, you know.
Yeah, it's a process, yeah. So again, when is the album coming out?
Wow, I thought we digressed.
I want to say,
and successfully.
just spitballing in terms of the music we have, if we start recording for the album now, we could have it out by next year.
Yeah.
If we start recording like now and work every day, which isn't gonna happen. Sorry.
Why'd you add that?
It's just not.
You guys were on a podcast.
Yeah, but you know, just getting to this point has been Corona lag and all of those things, and it's just not just the time, right? It's also an emotional strain. Like, you know, everybody's houses or families are experiencing different things, and you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And like day jobs, that situation, songwriting for other artists, things like that.
Yeah.
And there's other responsibilities. Things take time, but we want to do right by the people who listen, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely, and especially like after performing all those songs and, you know, really trying to focus on our sound and everything, we really spend most of our time just trying to figure out, okay, what does this really sound like? What does this sound like? How does it engineer? Or all of that things just comes into play with us trying to sound like just having our own sound and trying to be, not trying to be unique, but like coming off as genuine at least.
That's something that really interests me because when like people ask me or ask any of us what is the music, because again no release is out, right? So what does your music sound like? What kind of music do you guys make? And I'm at a loss because it's not like we went out of our way to forge a specific sound. Like we've been playing together for years, these guys more than me. This is kind of the first band that I'm in, and these guys have been in countless bands together and like apart. But when we started playing together, things just like we had these different things that we had picked up from different places, and they came together in this way where we didn't have to worry about like this isn't consistent with that or whatever. It just worked, and we didn't question it. Just keep moving. You know what I mean?
Organic. And
already the process, has so much like roadblocks. Whereas if I write some lyrics, he'll be like, "What does that mean?"
Have you had any big fights?
What
Have
are
you
you
had any
trying to
big
say?
creative conflicts?
I wouldn't say big creative conflict fights.
We've been fighting since we were kids, so
That's just how we talk, I guess, now.
Yeah. And we're critical. That's what I say. We're critical.
We're very critical
of each other's, and not like in a bad way. Just like, what are you thinking? What does that mean? Like,
what are you trying to say in that song? What are you trying?
It's so much easier when you got that level of ease with each other, right? Where you don't have to like be like,
Yeah.
oh, I think
Or
it's
where you
good,
don't
but
care.
No. We don't feel nervous about saying anything. We don't feel any way about feeling like, yo, that sucks, bro. We gotta fucking fix it right now.
like to a fault sometimes.
But in terms of like the song,
yeah, sometimes it can be like, okay, dude, like,
Acha, bro.
come on, bro.
doesn't
Feelings
matter.
are touring him, bro.
but we never shy away from being like, yo, get to the point of what you're trying to say in terms of
for sure.
songwriting or
For sure.
melodies, riffs, structure.
Yeah.
Like, really come with
It's
it.
one of the hardest things, like when you're creatively collaborating with new
Yeah.
people, where you literally have to be like, okay, I have to test the boundaries of like
Where's
what
your
I can
line?
say.
Sure.
Yeah. So almost every sentence will be like, it's really good. I think we can do this instead. Or
No, there's
something
none
like
of that shit.
Yeah, there's no diplomat.
It's either, oh my god, that's fucking sick, or stop it.
that. Yeah.
You know?
I think more important than being in like, oh, I'm in a band is creating relationships with people.
Yeah.
You create those relationships,
yeah.
and it's not just limited to being
For
in a
sure.
band. It's just like you business partnership or whatever.
Sure.
You create those relationships. You set your boundaries. There's honesty. There's trust, and I think things eventually will work out.
But if you guys have been friends for a long time, then you're gonna and you're now collaborating with like a producer, like you're collaborating with Jamal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a couple of singles
Yeah.
or the whole album, maybe. Who knows?
Right now, just these two songs.
Right.
Yeah,
So
we're
what's
working on
that
it. Yeah.
relationship like then? Because you three are coming in with your own like, you can be like brutal towards each other.
Yeah.
For
Are you
sure.
also brutal towards Jamal?
Well, yeah, but that's
Is he brutal towards you?
yeah,
Yeah,
but that's,
keeps us in
I
the
remember
basement,
that's
bro.
why it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we went in there. I had also met him around the time I met you in like 2018. I went
Acha.
I did the True Brew single thing, right, for the ukulele song.
Sure, of course.
And that time we didn't talk much. Like me and Jamal, we met, and it was like, hey, you do that, I'll do this. Okay, I'll do that, you do that, and that was it. You know what I mean? And it was like that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And then I met him around LMM time again after a couple of years, and it was just this, you know, off the mark. I'm genuine with you, you're genuine with me about how you feel about whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just this unspoken thing, you know what I mean, that happened. And I honestly feel like that's why it works. And it's the same with Danish Khwaja, who also co-produced Filhaal with Jamal. It was that same thing of, you know, just first night we met, so tell me your story.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where are you from? And when you make these relationships, I feel like it's a lot easier when you don't have to fake the friend shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And you can just be friends and work. Which is probably why we don't work with too many people. You know what I mean? Because we can't fake the friendship.
We're open to working with anyone. Anyone.
I guess.
Any sponsor that wants to sponsor.
Endorsements open.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hear the music first, and then we'll talk.
Trust me, I've done so much of that on this
Oh
podcast.
man,
Nobody
I'm
is
just plugging my face and everything.
I'm even drinking soda. Like I don't even like this shit.
Really?
But you were, like I said, the first band from Karachi. So, can I tell you what I think of the Karachi scene from
Yeah.
my
Yes,
vantage point,
go
and then
for
you
it.
can tell me what it's actually like?
Sure.
Acha, so, when I got to Pakistan, it was like Karachi was, in my head, was this underground, cool, electronic hotbed of like cool music, right? You had the Forever South people making their stuff.
Right.
Karachi Community Radio was coming
Big
up.
ups.
Represent.
There was like Black Peach, I think. No, actually.
Big
Black
ups.
Peach Project.
They're Karachi's. They're
Yeah.
from Karachi, and then there's loads of stuff that I'm forgetting as well. But it felt like electronic music comes from Karachi, right?
Feel
That's
like
the
that,
where
huh?
it comes. That's
Okay.
where it comes.
Hmm.
Last couple of years, I feel like it's fizzled out so much. The Forever South people have kind of moved on. A lot of those musicians have moved on. There's not as much music coming out from that from that kind of group of people. Karachi Community Radio is still going strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the scene is kind of fizzled out a bit, and the band scene in Lahore is still kind of
What it
doing
was,
all right.
For sure.
Is that correct, or is that
I think when
simplistic?
after the slowdown in the security situation and all that stuff, you know, the period
Yeah.
when it cleared out, electronic music did have a resurgence. In the Forever South boys, Dynaman and Bilal, they did the thing, and then there was Alien Panda Jury, there was Joel Crane, Nox, all these guys, Alak, one of my favorites. They did the thing, they did their gigs, people used to go as well, but I think at the end of the day they were like, yo, how long can we keep doing this?
Right.
You know, it's what it comes down to most scenes. You know, when you make a scene like a community, it's hard to keep it going.
Keep it going, yeah.
And when individual members start pursuing things in their personal life, like, more power to them. The scene sort of, like, their energy starts getting lost, and then there isn't that momentum. That momentum slows down. I think in Karachi especially, you can do things by yourself as well. You don't need a scene to do things.
Yeah,
Right.
you can just pack up and make a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that actually happen?
I mean, yeah, it's
More
kind
of-
of
yeah.
what the Forever South shows feel like they were to me when I was going back then. That they were like, we need somewhere to play. Fuck it, let's just do it wherever we can. Rent a house.
Yeah, it's definitely a bubble thing where
Yeah.
it's a small minority of people who are accessing that type of music. And especially I feel like in Lahore, that's what sort of like puts it apart from everyone else who's making music in Pakistan, where everyone is sort of just in the same band as each other, and yeah, literally, like
Yeah, no,
the
that-
drummer uske saath bhi baja, uske saath bhi, like, not taking any names, but
It's the Rami brothers.
Rami brothers, hey, Rami brothers everywhere.
Hey,
But
the drummer.
that's amazing.
But it's sick. Like,
That's awesome. That's amazing. But in Karachi, we're so like disassociated
Partitioned, yeah.
and like in bubbles with each other and different bubbles that we don't really get to collaborate. That I guess I'm speaking from a personal space, but like we don't really get to collaborate that much or just hear that music. But I think LMM and the festivals like that are just really just amazing for musicians to just see each other perform and see what they're about, and just allowing us to create that way. And
Lahore is definitely popping right now.
yeah, for sure.
I do think it's really interesting that like shows happen in Karachi for years, electronic shows and even some band shows. But
Like band shows, underground scene bhi
but
kafi tha.
there's rappers out there with millions and millions of views,
Views, yeah.
and for some reason they can't get put on to shows, like they can't get the NOC if that's the situation, or they can't. Something is just off about it because there's so much crazy talent, especially in Karachi. When you mention a Karachi scene, you can't not talk about the
hip-hop,
rappers that are from there.
Absolutely
For sure.
right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah,
which like Talha from the Stunners, Young Stunners, millions of views.
he was just on that Tum Tum, right? Is that who you're talking about?
No.
No, I'm not sure. I don't know Tum Tum.
What is Tum Tum?
Boys,
I don't know Tum Tum.
boys, you don't know the mainstream scene?
No.
Asim Azhar, Shamoon
no,
Ismail.
I don't know that. So
Oh, okay. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I will
Yeah,
hear.
yeah.
Did you hear it?
Like
did
I
hear
said,
it.
bubbles.
It's a great
bubbles,
song.
bro. Bubbles. We're all in our bubbles.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. I mean, I've been listening to the same fucking kick drum for the last 2 weeks, okay? I'm trying to get
But
that
we
out
can
of my head
fucking
right now.
swear, dude.
No, you don't have to. I'm just saying. But no, something is up there where this rap scene is just being stifled, and I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know how it's happening, but somebody has to do something about it. You know what I mean?
That's weird.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, because I go to shows wherever I can find. There is like T12 that does the dance crew shows, and rappers show up there. But like Shamoon Ismail came out for the Salt Arts event.
Shout out. Mhm.
Yeah,
No,
Shout
sorry. I
out.
have a yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I remember. I
I just have to shout out Shamoon every single time.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that he got paid in a turtle. I'm not.
No way.
Yo, this guy did the show at I believe it was
man.
Perry AU, and I don't know who it was. Told me that some kid had like a turtle. He wanted to give away. and he accepted the turtle. But I believe it's bullshit. I believe he got like 2.5 lakh or some shit like that.
That sounds like bullshit, but I would
Yeah.
love it if it
I
was
would
true.
love that. Yo,
Yeah.
I'll pay anybody in turtles.
Yeah. How many turtles would you guys have for a show?
Yo, 3 turtles minimum.
3 turtles
Minimum,
minimum,
yeah.
for
You
sure.
can't share it.
And then we restore them to their natural habitat.
Yeah, we'll
Like
free them,
decent
of
human
course.
beings.
We'll free
Yes.
Well,
Ashir is a very avid animal lover and champions their rights
And an
every
empath.
chance he can.
hell yeah, dude.
You know, it's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Base
an adoption.
grade.
It's an adoption situation at this point. These guys both take on more animals than they can handle. So anybody looking
Oh,
for
really?
adoptions.
How many animals between you guys?
4.
Yeah, 4 now, but
Yeah.
Changez has more. And then we just rescue. We pass them on. It's just
So please, anybody looking to adopt.
in
I'm not.
Karachi,
None of my
so-
cats are for adoption
Not-
right now.
okay,
Mother.
fine. Yeah, or not.
Just if you just we're not.
Don't call us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's stressful.
You
It's-
started
it's
that
not
off
easy,
going
especially-
somewhere else, and you finish somewhere
Because you
else.
said they're not for.
It's not easy in Karachi,
Acha.
especially. Yeah.
But just to finish that thought about the scene, you were talking about how it fizzles out because you kind of have the same people. Do you think that's one of the main reasons that you can't break out this bubble? Because you have the same people coming to the same shows, and you're like, I've seen you before. Like, it's nice to have this like little community, but after a while, it's just like
No, but it's also just the legal system, and you know what I mean. The way-
NOCs type.
NOCs, like you're paying I don't know what the tax is. 70% of
Like, to do a live show.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
70% of your total net, whatever you make, is supposed to be given to tax, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I don't
70
know
or
what
like
it is, but
90%?
it's something crazy.
That's the whole point. Nobody can function with
Yeah.
that tax, right?
No.
So
I think to be a musician, to be an independent musician in Pakistan, you really have to be really resilient. Like really, because everything is going against you. Everything is just like ये तो नहीं हो सकता. अच्छा ये करना नहीं ये भी नहीं हो सकता. अच्छा everything is literally going against you. So you really have to be like नहीं मुझे करना है. And the people that you see doing it have been fucking grinding it out.
how many musicians do you know that have told you to quit?
A lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, they're
a
like,
lot.
why are you doing
Not
this?
just
Why are you
musicians,
wasting your time?
People just want to come up and tell you like, bro, तेरा
How
तो scene
can-
नहीं है,
yeah,
तू क्यों
कैसे
कर रहा है?
करो ये?
क्या है, fuck
May I
this.
add something to this? As far that is true, but as with anything, I think if you grind away long enough,
Yeah.
you're either gonna
sure.
have a
Something
complete
will happen.
breakdown or you will make it.
Something will happen.
Yeah.
You'll
But-
definitely have a breakdown.
Or
for sure.
the goal is not for you yourself to make it, but for you to set some establishment,
groundwork
some
for-
foundation where
yeah.
someone else might make it, which is really awful to think about.
You know,
for
a lot
us,
of
but-
people,
man.
a lot of musicians do the disservice to themselves of expecting other people to do things for them.
Yeah.
This is true.
For sure.
Right.
And
For
they'll be
sure.
like, "Oh, where's the scene?" Same thing we were talking about earlier.
For sure.
Where's the scene? We'll follow the scene, and something will work out for us. Yo, make your own scene. Get a sound card, get a laptop, do whatever you have to.
The first
Figure it out for
Towers-
yourself,
Mhm.
and then share
Yeah.
when you have
First-
something.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to just the first Towers show we did. Ashir was in the middle of a job, so he couldn't perform with us. But it was me and Changez performing, and it was at T2F, right? And
It was in a garage. It was at Cinema 73.
that was the first, but that wasn't really any of our songs. That was just like sound experiment shit. You know what I mean?
I think that was the first gig. We just
Okay,
went
fine.
there.
We just showed up. But the one we got paid for, the first paying gig.
Oh, we got paid for that, yeah.
The first paying gig was T2F, where we set it up ourselves. We got the sound guy. We did not. They have historically terrible sound in the venue, so we got our own sound guy, and he charges $25K. And we talked to Ashir Bhatti, I believe it was,
Yeah.
about getting he was really cool about it. 70-30 split on whatever the tickets were. And the next week I went back and they're like, yeah, 70-30 and our 14K fee, right? And I'm like, no 14K fee.
No.
Yo, we're on zero, guys.
Mr. Ashir Bhatti has told us that we're 70-30 and they're like, okay, cool, fine.
Okay.
And we did the show, and we charged 1,000 rupee tickets. We got 26 people. We got
Yeah.
26 people, paid 25K to the sound guy, and gave 300 to the venue people, and got some rolls.
yeah.
And we were all,
Yeah.
but that's what you have to do if you want to build a scene for yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get the money together, or just do the shit sound. We've also done the busking. You know what I mean? I personally have done that. Like, it's just a matter of what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
If Forever South was cool, renting houses and stuff, that was great. That was great for us. You know what I mean? If people want to do fucking open park jam sessions, bring the family and the kids, that's great too. But you have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You have to put in the work, and then maybe somebody will care
Maybe something will
enough to.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite musicians that I listen to from Pakistan, I just listen to their SoundCloud.
Mm.
I don't know who they are,
Yeah,
where they are.
for sure.
I haven't ever seen them live.
कभी मिले भी नहीं होंगे.
कभी मिले भी नहीं होंगे,
कुछ से
जानते
मिल
भी नहीं है कि
Lighter
कौन से
matches,
शहर से
Lighter
हैं.
matches, I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you.
But they do have their views, and they have their cult followings, and it's good. You
Yeah.
put out the art, and you want to go back to your life, that's fine.
There's no issue, but if you guys...
from the
Oh, yeah, honestly, we had like single takes of a lot of those shots.
You did a lot of really cool. I saw the video afterwards.
back
Oh, you've seen it?
You've seen it.
Oh,
Yeah.
अच्छा,
Yeah.
Are we back on?
Are we back on? Rolling? दोनों? हाँ.
Back on. Yeah.
लेकिन सही
Yo.
लगी?
Yo, the video looked really cool.
Amazing.
It looked really cool. I mean, I didn't really like my cameo as much because I didn't think too much about it.
Because it wasn't your video.
Yeah. But you had the whole dolly situation going, the man pushing you and pulling you. That was amazing.
Manu,
yeah,
And
we
the
just had very
song
little
is really
time.
good.
That was
Manu's song is really
Yeah.
good.
Manu
Manu is just.
He's an awesome guy. Yo. Thanks. Thanks for being an awesome guy.
love
Also,
you, bro.
it was good to see you in the camera train situation.
Yeah, that was
Being
great.
Mr.
Yeah, that was
Director,
Yeah.
some guy gently pushing you down for that
That was amazing.
zoom out.
Push me slower. Yeah. All right, where were we?
I don't know, man.
We
We were talking about the
were.
Karachi scene generally.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta do things yourself. It's really all. it
When
is.
we were younger, there's this one place near Zamzama. It was called the Baby Auditorium. There were some great gigs that happened there. And I think Ashir and I might have been 13 and a half, 14.
Yeah.
Bilal was also a new friend around then. And we used to go to these gigs, and lots of cover bands, lots of, the Lahore
But
underground
उस वक्त
scene.
काफी heavy metal और rock का काफी
Fucking
scene था.
Nirvana tribute concerts.
Oh, bro, 2004. Yeah.
Sophie's in the back.
But there was some great music. There were some great musicians playing some really hard songs to cover, and it was fun. I used to
हम भी
enjoy
उनमें से
it.
थे.
Yeah.
These guys did Red Hot Chili Peppers covers and like.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Some Arctic Monkeys later on, and Strokes. Like the British bands.
Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cool
yeah.
bands. We only did cool bands, bro. Arctic
Cool
Monkeys, fucking.
Actually, we did. What was that song we did at True Brew? That one cover we did.
Pony, genuine.
Nay. Oh yeah, there was that as like a mashup. We did a genuine song, but what was that other one? Take my breath away. Yeah,
We didn't cover that. I just played the bass line for
Felt
like
like
2
a
minutes,
cover.
a minute
Felt like a
perhaps.
We played it long enough, but we didn't really add lyrics to it.
Yeah.
It was just like, हाँ थोड़ा time चाहिए, so let's just distract the audience,
Yeah.
and yeah, sweet.
People got it.
What's the best show you've done so far?
Definitely True Brew.
True Brew.
Definitely second night at True Brew.
LMM भी बहुत अच्छा था.
बहुत अच्छा था.
बहुत अच्छा था.
I mean, we only
Daniel, shout out
have
to
3 shows that
Daniel.
we've
Yeah.
played. So out of
Yeah.
those,
Yeah, shout out to Daniel Ahmed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Put some crazy bansuri.
Honorary tower
Feels,
dude, straight
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
काफी feels
I
डाली थी
missed
उसने.
all of your shows.
You weren't there?
Bro,
he wasn't there.
Yeah, I
क्या
wasn't
बात
there.
कर
True,
रहे हो?
Oh, it was a
I
good
wasn't
show,
there.
though.
मैं interview क्यों ले रहा
We had a
हूँ?
great time.
सही बात है.
Shout out Dina also, who set the stage.
Opened for us at True Brew. Crazy. Very amazing.
There was a
Yeah.
magical experience there, dude.
There was like a meditation, guided meditation before we went on stage.
No way.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
she
really
did a
cool.
spoken word piece where she explained herself.
Who is this?
And Dina Habib.
Dina Habib.
Border Fairy.
Border Fairy on Instagram. Follow her. She's
A guided
amazing.
meditation?
A
Yeah.
guided
For the whole-
meditation with like
Spoken
musical elements and spoken word. Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
It was unlike anything. It wasn't like a guided meditation that I'd experienced before, but
Yeah.
it was something, and I think that really added to how we started.
And then like
Yeah.
After that, us
So
just
that was
coming
fucking
in.
popping.
we just came in so fucking hard. Like, oh bro, ये कहाँ से आ गई? ये क्या हुआ?
And like, you know those gigs where the sound is nice and you are having fun playing and the crowd is responsive. Like all those key things were there, and you know.
Which is why True Brew should not be shut down, and
Should not be.
somebody
Let's have
should do something to keep it open.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
somebody who has a lot of money.
Or just somebody who has the work and
A heart
the
of gold.
drive. Yeah,
It won't be me, but somebody should. You know.
and there's some names floating, but I hope somebody picks it up and
Yeah.
runs with
I
it.
think even sitting in Karachi all those years, we were looking at True
True
Brew and
Brew,
being
bro.
like, "Yo,
Yeah.
they're doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
They've got a system."
So you
know.
were looking at Karachi like it's this burgeoning underground whatever
bit.
scene, yeah, right?
From
Yeah.
like Lahore lens.
Whereas we were sitting in Karachi thinking we're in the gutter right now,
जो बात है.
and we got to get to Lahore where they're doing film scores and fucking, you know what I
Right.
mean? So that's a weird polar like.
Do you feel
shift
like
that I
Karachi is
think.
very commercial and Lahore is artsy? Is that a...
I feel the opposite actually. I feel like Karachi is very artsy and Lahore is very commercial.
It's a stupid question, but I'm just asking.
Yeah, but in terms of like looking outside, because also, you know what I mean, I've moved around a lot, you know me, I look at everything from an outsider's perspective. Karachi seems like a bunch of little bubbles, Lahore seems like a bunch of little bubbles. It just feels like Lahore people are trying to actually get the work out.
Mm.
Not just get it done, but get it out.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Because there's a lot of scenes that even you know about from Karachi, but like how much music is there out there?
Mm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
And I
Yeah.
think one of the like difficult crossovers, the Lahore indie scene is again popping. I'm going to use this often in this podcast.
Happen.
But in Karachi, there's a lot of studios who create great commercial work. Like if you're listening to the radio and you hear something and you're like, "Yo, this is an ad." There's like a thumpy bass line and you're like, "Oh yeah, saw the odd bros." Okay, you know.
Yeah.
There is a quality that you get to it that you hear on radio now, which I don't think was really great a few years ago, and you can see that on commercial music as well. So there are studios that are putting out work for agencies and
I'm a
things
big
like
fan
that.
of jingles. Anybody has jingle work?
You guys,
Fuck up.
we can make jingles also if you want to
Jingles
make a
by
jingle.
Towers.
Jingles by Towers.
Oh, I thought this was like your solo thing. that
Oh
you
no,
did
plug
for
man.
me
money.
in.
I'm sharing it with the boys.
Oh, okay,
Jingles
all
by
right, cool.
Towers.
Jingles by Towers.
Here's a question, but I don't really want to ask it, but I'm going to ask it anyway, which is after listening to Filhaal,
Yeah.
I'm like I've said many times, like this is an absolute banger.
Thank you.
Like this is going to be on the radio, hopefully,
you.
inshallah, and it's going to be
Hopefully, inshallah,
Yeah.
big.
yeah. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
What are your expectations with a song like that? That is like, I'm sure you must have shown it to a lot of people, and their reactions have been very similar because
Yeah.
it is
More or
like that
less,
kind of a dancey,
Yeah.
Really fun
Yeah.
song.
And we're
You don't
proud of the
get that.
dance vibe for sure.
But
you know.
I don't hear that many songs like that. You know, that is so happy and like
Yeah.
dancing.
But that's the thing. We don't know what to expect. You know what I mean? We're just.
But you must have expectations, no?
Everyone does, AR.
I just want somebody to hear this song and swoop in and give us a bunch of money to be like, make more of this. You know what I mean? Best case scenario, somebody swoops in with a studio and
We're really
says,
going
"Go
hard
nuts."
with these money things right now.
You did ask us about our
Say your
expectations.
No,
propensity.
That's what this is. Because what I'm saying is that when you make something good, like this is my experience as well.
Yeah.
Like you make something good and you're like, in your head, you're like, people are gonna see this thing, they're gonna be like,
Listen,
But you
stay
can't-
grounded, my guy. Just,
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
for
things play out in the weirdest ways.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
The
true.
way this band even got together is a
It's
testament
true.
to that. I think if we put the music out, if nothing else, it'll just make us go harder on getting more out. Like,
Yeah.
Definitely, and that's what I take from it as well. And like, we had a deadline. We made these songs for that show, and how those songs came about, we didn't really think too much about it. We're like, just let's put it out. You know, there's a
Flow.
yeah. It's just like it
Flow
was just
state.
like exactly. There's
A little bit of chaos energy, you know what I mean?
And if something
Taurus
comes out of
paranoia.
that, which has perhaps commercial value or whatever, we'd be open to having that conversation. Yeah, who doesn't like to sustain themselves
We're just
with
really,
their craft?
really happy.
Give me that money. No.
But at
Yeah,
the
we-
same time, go on. Yeah.
We're just really happy to be in a creative space. I'm just gonna take it out.
Yeah.
We're just
Yeah,
really
take it,
happy to create and make all this music and put it out because we've been holding ourselves back and doing a disservice to ourselves of not doing what we are doing right now at this moment. So
Yeah, I feel like that's
That's
the
a
number one.
personal
The fact
win
that
for
we
us.
don't have music out is our number one roadblock. That once I feel like we clear that, it's like gonna be easier to produce and put stuff
I
out.
feel
Do
like
you guys need
musicians-
the threat of something to make music?
Personally, I work great under pressure.
Same.
Like with the deadlines, the way everything has happened already.
Same.
I mean, that's just how I work.
What do you
know
mean? Why are you shaking your head?
Because I want to be like relaxed as hell.
No, but
Oh.
you guys only have one
Conflict.
song out. I'm gonna shame you here. Like you guys only have one song out. So
Because I'm relaxed as
what's up?
hell.
Yo,
What's on you?
एक second.
guys, I need to relax.
यार cooking chaos का है, bro. तुम
Okay,
बात-
dude.
How the tables
No, no,
have
no, no, no.
turned.
Hang on.
Turning of the
Hang on,
tables.
bro. Bro, cooking chaos का episode का है, bro. We've been waiting, bro.
No. That's got external circumstances.
It's a music
How
podcast. We can't talk about cooking chaos. Yasir Puri,
The
bro.
tables.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, bro.
Shout out to Yasser edit the donut episode.
All right.
Oh,
Sweet.
Hi,
Yasir, bro.
Yasir.
Edit my bro.
But yeah, like you need a show to be like, oh, we have to fill an hour, so we have to make some songs.
Yeah, and we need a deadline of we want to put this album out then in order to start working on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
having said all of that, working with Jamal has been a learning experience for us.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
For
we
sure.
have all worked in studios with producers individually over some time.
Yeah.
But together as a unit, working with Jamal, building that relationship, watching him work, and he gets wired in.
He has
Like,
this
like,
this other flow state that is
Yeah.
just like I try to make sense of it watching and not
like a
interrupting.
Jedi
and
mind
soak
trick.
things up. It's amazing to work with him. Like anybody who's ever been in the room can be a testament to that. You know what I mean?
and also, when you see that, you learn about process. So, the thing we touched on, like process is important no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And you hone that. That's also a craft to hone. So you do it again, you do it the third time. And when Danish walks into the room, you see that as well, because he's got this he is a Jedi.
He comes from a different place, looking at the mixes and musically also unbelievable. Huge inspiration.
When we talk about process, though, my immediate thought is about when you iterate in that way, you have to be completely okay with failing.
Yeah.
So how many
Don't
times?
be scared to suck, man.
Yo, that's
Yeah. So how many
literally what
times
it
have you
is.
guys made songs and you've been like, that was shit?
Yeah.
A lot.
So
A
many
lot.
times. Even LMM, we were like, यार हम वहाँ पे gentle robot बजा रहे हैं.
Yo!
एक second. Let me. Gentle robot बजा रहे हैं. मेहदी मालूम बजा रहे हैं. Mehak Kayomi, she's pretty fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
All these people like, we're just gonna go up there and
Fucking
suck.
Manu's set.
Manu
Yeah.
बजा रहे हैं. Bro, हम लोग
Yeah.
we're like, yeah, you know what? We'll suck. Fuck it. So what?
Yeah.
Fuck it. क्या होगा? We'll suck. We're not gonna be as good, but whatever. But
And that's part of the process, right?
Yeah.
That's
literally,
part of the
it sounds a little self-deprecating right
But
now.
you have to
like,
bring yourself down to.
it's
you know what I
it's
mean?
also an ego
To a
thing where
certain
you're just
level,
like, yeah, dude, you नहीं, तू वो नहीं है, कोई बात नहीं, बजा ले.
कोई बात नहीं.
It's okay.
You are
Yeah.
what you
I
are.
think you'll be okay.
I say this a lot, man. Nobody does certain things the way the people who pioneered them do it. So do your own thing. Like nobody can be Atif. Nobody can do what Atif does.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? Don't try to be that.
Yeah.
And it's like that with all. Like we went to these guys' place, Wisdom Salad. We went and heard some of their music, right? And the music video that they're working on too is unbelievable. It's crazy, but it's one of those things where they do what they do, and you have to step back a little bit to be like, to not be like, I suck. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the shit is amazing. Everything around you when it pops like that, you really have to figure out what you're doing there.
Yeah.
you know?
I think it might also be a disservice to ourselves if we start comparing ourselves to other people.
Sure.
Right.
Agreed,
So we're doing
yeah.
our thing. We're learning our process.
Agreed.
And it might be slower than.
Yeah,
other
but it
people's,
was
yeah.
it was really intimidating to go on stage at LMM. But
for sure.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun.
Especially with your little Volca.
आपका drum set कहाँ है sir? Sir आपका drum set कहाँ है?
Just an aux, please.
ये रहा. अच्छा बस यही है. हाँ यही. और कोई आ रहा है? नहीं हम तीन हैं.
But that's great for traveling, I
It
was
is.
so jealous
Towers is
walking with
mobile.
my guitar and my fucking amp and shit. I was jealous.
I think I brought on a tiny suitcase onto the stage because
Yeah.
I had my amp, my pedal board, and I saw him setting up and just plugging the aux in, and I was like, it's like, why you do this?
And my sound check was like 808. Boom. Half rate bro on scene.
Nice. But what does give me an example of what Towers failing looks like? Just because I'm interested.
I don't know
in that
how to
process.
explain it to you, man. Like just chaotic
Failing.
beats, chaotic out of tempo beats with like terrible
just happened.
off key
Which
singing.
has happened.
Sounds like a dream.
And like no, it's
Nay,
just
I mean not failing. Like in the process, failing is fine. What
Yeah.
I mean is, at the end of the process, because that for me is the most crushing failure. When you finish something and you look at it and you're like, it didn't
Not so
really,
great.
it wasn't there, right? Like it didn't.
You
get
learn.
there.
You learn even from that, dude.
and
no,
I've-
but what I'm saying is like
Yeah.
has that happened to you guys or
We have
This is not a
finished-
therapy session for me.
it could be
bro,
that.
it's
you
fine.
feeling? AR? Tell us about yourself. Are you
Yeah.
okay, bro?
I had a crushing
You just-
failure recently. Changez is like, it's fine, dude. It's fine.
Fine. We can hug it out after
Yeah.
or right now.
No, right
no,
now,
but I
do
want
it
you
now.
guys to explain your failure so I feel better about myself.
Man, our failures musically. Let's stick to musically.
Okay. Okay. Good one.
They don't really bother us as much because again we're in this like very flow state critical pattern of just cutting something off as soon as it feels wrong. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really the process doesn't continue until we break that barrier. And usually we know that this is a good time to stop. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's go get some food, go home, don't talk to me for a bit, whatever. That happens.
Just put our headphones on.
And that's part of the reason why we make the kind of shit that we make is because we've worked out that process, not musically, just being friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah. That's cool.
So we don't fail,
Failing,
Point is
like-
we don't fail.
Failing, I don't really understand how fail. We haven't really.
We haven't really failed.
Yo,
Yeah,
let
like-
me chalk out failure for you guys. All right.
Oh no.
We work on this stuff with Jamal, and Jamal
Nahi, yaar.
burns down his studio,
Yeah, don't
right?
even say that,
and
bro.
everybody in the industry is like, "Yo, Jamal burned down his studio. We don't want to touch it." Not that Jamal would do that. I'm just saying. I'm just laying out a hypothetical
Yeah.
situation, right?
You might. It's okay.
And then everybody's like, "Yo, this music is terrible," also because the studio got burned down.
Yeah.
And I know we're going off on a tangent, but what would happen then when the music we put out has also failed and nobody really listens to it? There's no association with music for us as individuals
I'm
or
gonna let
us
him
as a
finish.
group.
yeah, I'm gonna.
Would that be failure?
That would be failure.
Then we're at failure.
Yeah, then we're at failure.
Then we'll talk.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's what I mean, like at the end of the process, what it looks like. But I'm just interested as a musician, because for me,
Right.
like whenever I make videos, it's like when
Right.
you're on set, you have literally like that the day, you have 3 hours.
Right.
If you fail in that 3 hours, you're fucked,
Yeah.
right? Because you're on the edit and you're like,
100%.
I don't know what I'm going to do right now. Like that's what
100%.
failure looks like
It's
there, right?
it's also a lot of us. We also just expect a lot from each other. I think that really works because we're not gonna fail. If I can impress Billy, it'll sound good.
Yeah.
If Changez can impress me, it'll sound good. It's really what matters is each other. Honestly, we're just in love. We just love each other.
Nay, look,
No, but like, yeah.
that is the right.
But
that
that is
point.
that's kind of what I was saying about how we don't let the process continue until
And
all three of us are in a place
Absolutely,
where we're like,
and
that's all right,
we've had this sort of period where we've like sort of been validated.
I would say failing looks like those 2 years where we didn't do shit.
Yeah, that's failure.
That's
That's
what
fucking
failing looks like to me.
failure,
If
for
we
sure.
just stop making music
Yeah,
with each
That's
other,
failing.
that's
That's
Yeah.
the band failing, and I don't think that's gonna happen.
And even in that scenario, we went back to things in our own life
Yeah,
that we were doing, and
that was necessary.
that was necessary,
Yeah.
responsibilities or work or whatever. So I mean, you failed in an aspect of life, but maybe not all of life.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
that crushing,
Mhm.
perhaps.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of, what's your music, what's the future? Let's get some atmosphere in here.
Can I take this
Can I
one?
have one?
Can I take this one?
Sure.
Are you guys?
Yeah, go for it.
So we have really, we don't, the part where I said we really want to focus on what we sound like and what our sound is like. We don't really are not focused on anything else. We don't really get influenced by other, I mean, we have similar music tastes and that helps, but focusing on our sound and just pushing each other in a direction where we try to create something we haven't heard before, or we just surprise each other. That really is just how we create music, and that I think if we just keep doing that, we'll be fine. And yeah, I think something good will definitely come out of that, because we just have this sort of relationship. We just motivate each other and just sort of. Sometimes it's passive aggressive. It's fine.
It gets there. It does
It's
get
fine.
There's
It's
some energy
alright.
sharing
Sometimes
also.
it's like sometimes it's needed, and if we just allow ourselves to experiment more and more and more, I think that's how our sound will evolve, and that's eventually what I want from it, especially.
We do take a lot of chances in terms
For
of like
sure.
trying to impress each other. There's a lot of misses, but when it hits, it really hits.
Yeah.
It really hits. Yeah. Which is why it's just fun. If it stops being fun, then
Yeah,
why
that's
are you
also
doing
a
it?
version of
Absolutely.
failure. If it stops being fun, it's like,
Yeah.
kya kar rahe yaar?
You call it, you know?
Yeah.
And
Has
it's
there been
okay.
times when it's not been fun?
Jams sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah?
Just jams,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like we still have the bigger picture in mind. Where
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
like, kuch karna to
Like
hai.
what happens in a jam when it stops being fun?
Just doesn't
Changez,
sound right.
Changez, you want to take that
Yeah.
one?
Just doesn't sound right. There's
Or one
the
of
energy.
us, or just one of us had a bad day, and we're like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, I don't want to do this right
We
now."
are
We're in a
people.
band,
We're not
yeah.
just a band. We're people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
First, people first.
Yeah, I'm trying to make us sound like, oh, we're so hyper creative, but नहीं हम लोग आते हैं एक दूसरे की शक्लें देख के कभी कभी यार तू फिर आ
थोड़ी सी
गया।
मनुसियत होती है.
अच्छा चल
I have
बोलो।
to wake
चाय
this
पीने
guy
चलते
up.
हैं, you know, like.
Yeah. That
And
happens.
what's the driver? What makes you keep doing it?
Just because we have to hang out anyway.
right.
We're gonna hang out anywhere. We're friends first, right? So sometimes we're in his room, my room, and there's just instruments there, and it just happens without us thinking about it.
Mhm.
Let's talk about AR's work.
Absolutely not.
Let's talk about.
No, how many music
Let's talk
videos
about
have you
that.
done?
Yeah, I've done.
You did Manu's and you did the other guys.
I am Shah. I am the Shah.
वो
What
तो-
the bro?
That's just we do that for
देख
fun.
उसकी-
Like we're doing another one this weekend.
Sweet.
Nice.
वो वीडियो देख के literally मैंने boys को बोला कि bro रिजवान बर्गर खाते हैं.
हाँ.
Yeah,
I don't
bro,
know. That
हमने
was
खाया था.
stupid.
How did you go
Bad
after the
decision.
shoot to this one burger? Yeah, how was it? What'd you have?
It's amazing. I like.
Why
it a
do you
lot.
like it?
He goes nuts over it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. Obviously, but special Shami is good, dude.
Special चाउमीन नहीं खाया था हमने
Yeah,
कुछ और
हमने
खाया था. Beef burger.
standard beef burger, zinger.
I was like beef
Yeah.
burger होगा अच्छा होगा.
I don't think the beef burger is
You
that
know,
nice.
I
so
don't think the beef burger is
after
beef.
the first
Yeah.
night,
Beef burger is beef.
I think after the first night, after LMM,
We went to the kadai spot.
we went to the Karai spot, I think, on Main Market, which is right next to Rizwan. And it says
Okay.
Rizwan Tikka.
Acha.
And we had like some Salan wala Kadai Tikka type situation.
You took me for kadai when we first
We
met.
went to Butt
Yeah.
Kadai.
With butt Kadai.
I
did
was
you
like-
go?
Yeah, that's
The one on the most right or the one, the other
Bro,
ones?
every कढ़ाई
Bro,
is butt
nobody
कढ़ाई.
knows.
हर कढ़ाई बट कढ़ाई होती है literally.
the one Lakshmi Chowk.
Lakshmi
Yeah, we
Chowk.
went
Ah.
to the Lakshmi Chowk.
The
Okay.
main one. The
Yeah.
we went to the fancy one actually.
The indoor seating
The
one.
indoor
yeah.
seating.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It was a date.
There's families
It's
there and
alright.
stuff. Yeah, it's fine.
It was
I'm fine
romantic.
with that. It was fun. It was fun.
It was good.
And then I left my shit at your house because it was actually a date. I left my shit at your house and we and I went forward to Hunza. And you met me there with the fucking notebook, my songbook that I had left in your house.
Did I give you that back?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
I met
For
you
some reason
in
I have a feeling I
Hunza as
forgot.
well. It was the Passu
Passu.
Festival, I think.
Yeah.
I had like longer hair. I don't know if you remember, big beard.
I think you had a bigger. I remember.
I had a
the
big
bigger
beard. Yeah, I was like I live in the mountain zone.
Right.
And I was like, sup, dude, what do you do? And you gave me a background of what you were doing. He's like, yo, I do this thing, Mosiki. And I was like, oh, shit, I've heard of Mosiki.
Uh-huh.
And seeing how far you've progressed in your work makes me really happy.
Yo, man.
Because you know a thing or
How
two
was
about
it-
process.
Respect the bros.
How was it for you? The,
Oh, here we go. Is it?
no, these quarantine months, because we could we couldn't really make music as a band because we were quarantined ourselves.
Yeah.
But like in terms of shooting videos and stuff like that, what was it like for you these 4, 5, 6 months?
Yeah, it was a bit rough because obviously the shoots got kind of
Right.
shut down. But otherwise, it was kind of like the good thing is that this office is very close to my house and it was
Sweet.
empty. So
Oh, sweet.
I live in a basement apartment, so there's no daylight.
Yeah.
So if I'm the
kinda
idea of
sad.
locking down in that basement apartment is just like unbelievable.
But it's such a nice spot with the record players and
It's a
the
nice
little
spot.
rugs and
Yeah,
the
but it's a nice
Yo,
spot after
what
7
is this
p.m.
like?
yeah.
Date night you guys did and we didn't have any context to
Yo,
it.
man, don't
Changez
be
feeling
jelly.
FOMO.
Call us to
Feeling
your
FOMO.
crib.
Well, he's flying out tomorrow.
I'm going. Next time.
My parents are in as well, so they just arrived. Otherwise, you guys we would go and have a patkarai over there.
Patkarai, number one.
That's the kind of
patkarai.
after party I'm into.
Yeah.
You know?
Only genuine. But
Number one.
Well,
But yeah.
best food you've had in Lahore. This is the
Al
show
Beirut,
asking.
bro. Al Beirut, H Block, Gilgiti Bros.
What,
They're
did you have the
best.
falafel wrap?
Actually, no. Shout
At
out to
making-
Amar at Rena's, bro.
Rena's.
That guy fucks me up with the free pizza.
Yeah,
fucking
the honey
ferment
pizza
in your-
was good.
Ferments in your
Yo,
stomach. Pizza.
I'm telling you, man, the True Brew first and second night both were magical. People came like again. I didn't expect like people to ever be like.
Yo,
bro,
people knew the words of the song after the
people-
first time we
एक दफा
played
सुन
it.
के encore पे
Fuck,
उनको
yeah.
words याद हो गए, and मैं drum बजा रहा हूँ. I'm like what's happening?
Yeah.
Why do they know? Why are they dancing? How is this real?
And
But
we met-
it's that kind of a song.
Yeah,
It is, it is. And we met a bunch of people there who became friends, you know what I mean? So now the song feels more like it's for those 100 people.
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean?
It's
yeah.
because maybe if that night hadn't gone the way it did, maybe if it was just a bust without that energy exchange situation we're talking about, maybe we wouldn't have been motivated enough to visit Lahore again after.
Yeah,
You know,
Yo, why didn't you come to
100%.
any of our shows?
Man, LMM I missed because I was in England at the time. I was in
Right.
London.
Nice.
Right.
The True Brew show, I have no idea why I missed. But there must have been a reason because I wouldn't have missed it for
Oh,
no
yeah.
reason.
And you've
Because I
been-
usually go to
every
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 True
show
Brew.
I can fucking get my hands on,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So there must have been a reason, but I can't remember what it was. Because then we did the Smoke City session like the day after.
The
or
day
something.
after, yeah.
I
And
remember being exhausted as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
हाँ सही खेत में बैठ के
like यार
बजाना,
मिसबा
सही है,
फील्ड
fair
में
है.
क्यों ले जा रहे हो हमें?
Yeah.
मतलब-
So, because I was like, okay, well, at least I'm seeing these guys here,
yeah.
you know. But you guys didn't play Filhaal.
Well, fun piece of trivia. The first, was it before the first night
सोचो
or
खेत
before
में
the
फिलहाल
second
बजा रहे
night?
होते हैं.
That Daniel had the allergic reaction.
Sounds like a good
Yo,
Yo.
after the first night, we did go to Al Beirut, and nothing wrong with their food. Daniel,
The Basri player.
Danish?
Basri player.
Daniel.
That's the mix-up, yo.
Okay.
Daniel
So
and-
Daniel, who was like, "Yo, there's this sick place we can go to," he had one of their pickled spices, and he had a bad allergic reaction. to
No.
it.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
so bad he went to the
and
hospital.
Ginger was with
immediately,
us.
Yeah.
He took him to the hospital.
And
And
the
he
next
was-
day we had our second night at True Brew. So he was
Weird.
antihistamined out, just like out for the night. And I
Oh,
I
damn.
was so happy to see him the next day, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We got a little scared because we hadn't. That wasn't how our night was going to go.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
also my birthday that night.
It was
I think.
also his birthday. We performed on
Yeah,
his
we
birthday.
performed at a leap year also, 28, 29.
Fuck yeah.
Nice. How important is visuals to? Do you think it's visuals to music? Like when you put out a song, and you just like, I wish we had a music video to this.
So it goes without saying that it goes hand in hand. Visuals and
Absolutely.
music work together.
Yeah.
In terms of consumption is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
people don't generally consume music videos unless it's as a novelty. Where somebody they like came out with one. There's no music video channels.
Anymore.
There's on
Especially
TV. I
Pakistan
don't
with
even
the-
watch TV. Like
What a
that.
shame.
I remember I used to be heavy on Vimeo. Vimeo
really?
was like my
Yeah,
platform
yeah.
because
Was that when YouTube was banned?
No, I was in England at the time.
Oh, अच्छा.
That
and
was such a.
I had access to both, but I chose Vimeo for a lot of like art stuff
Yeah.
and like animation, things like that. There was great content on it, but it just didn't have the same like playthroughs as YouTube does.
Yeah.
So I mean, YouTube is where you put it out and you go watch it. You know,
Yeah.
it's free. Anyone can access it. SoundCloud, same.
Also, I think music videos are just also, it's very easy for people to understand the music, because if music, you listen to the music, you don't really know what's happening, what it's about. So music video really puts things into perspective for some people, and that for like, you know, listeners or who want to be familiarized with a certain type of sound or a band. So visuals
Or a
really-
lifestyle,
100%
or like,
lifestyle.
whatever.
Yeah.
The Weeknd.
The
Have
cul-
you
it's
seen
the
his,
culture.
like the last album? All the
I will.
I haven't seen all of them, but I
that's
saw a
the
couple of
thing.
them.
The Weekend came out. How many years ago it was? Whatever.
2013.
No picture of himself. No visualizer. No nothing. Just dropped these like 6, 8, 10 songs, whatever it was,
Yeah.
and for a year it was like just music drops with, you know, album art, but
Yeah.
that's it.
And you know how we were saying earlier, like I think we should probably just finish on this one,
Yeah.
which is about, you know, like even creating a scene,
Yeah.
and even if you might not do it for yourself, you might not yourself get anything, but you might be creating a place for someone else to be able to, for the next generation to come through. So what does that look like for you guys? Like what if you were to think of yourself as being as laying foundations, if that makes sense. Like how does that, what does it look like? What do you expect for yourself?
So we are still I think we're young musicians, just three young guys.
Just three young guys hanging out.
Yeah.
And in terms of the amount of music that we've made, produced, or whatever has come out, we're still young musicians. I'd say we've done things separately. Bilal has been doing it for a long time, really long time.
Not that long. Come on.
It's alright. It's alright. Billy's been doing it for a really long time, singing, songwriting, and all of that. To compare ourselves to,
like foundation bricklayers.
Yeah,
like,
we can't. I can't really say that about myself.
I share that testament because people who set up, like Natasha set up LMM and Jamal set up True Brew.
Yeah,
and people who build their studios, Jambro in Karachi, iHeart KCR. Fucking all those are
people
platforms
who are actually doing the thing. We're just artists. We're just expressing ourselves. That's
we're
all
just
we're trying to
riding
do.
the wave, bro.
We are riding
and if
the
we
wave.
can get other people on that wave, then
if we can
come ride this
inspire-
fucking wave with us. You know? That's really all we can.
If we inspire anybody along the way, that's just by happens. Like that's just
happenstance. You were gonna say
That's a good
happenstance.
one.
happenstance.
With a monocle on and a top hat.
This is happenstance.
But I do think that credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Natasha Noorani,
Zara Paracha.
Zara
When is
Paracha.
Natasha Noorani coming on the
Jamal
show?
Yo, you gotta do the
I
Biryani Bros
asked her.
podcast.
She was one of the first people I asked, but she's still in pretty strict lockdown.
Okay.
Yeah.
So LMM time when we got that first gig, that song, what was that song? Ikkis Vi Sadi.
Ikkis Vi
That was
Sadi.
our like theme music.
We
Yeah.
used to listen to that before we went on. Now
But
it's like becoming.
to
a show.
continue that point, Zara Paracha, Natasha Noorani, Jamal, Danny, even KCR in Karachi in our own city, we got the Stunners, all these guys doing crazy shit.
Manu.
Manu in Lahore, man, there's so much happening that we just want to be a part of it, and we want to get other people to be a part of it because not a lot of people know what's going on. It's this
And
whole
yes,
bubble
you can.
situation.
Don't be like, you can do whatever you
If
want.
you don't know how to do shit, learn and fucking do it. You know what I mean? That's really all it is.
Yeah.
All right. So by the time this comes out, maybe one single out and another one on the way.
On the
That's
way.
right.
Very
Can you
soon.
give people a quick introduction as what they can expect, or if they should listen to Filhaal right now? If they're
Listen to
Just
Filhaal
listen
right
to Filhaal
now.
right now. I
Drop
assume
some
there's a link
comments.
somewhere.
Do your friends a favor. Do your mom a favor. Your dad a favor.
And play
Everyone,
that fucking
Filhaal
tune.
is-
I don't know if it's mom and dad friendly.
Dude,
but
for sure it is. For sure it is.
Yeah,
Don't
sure,
don't
okay.
read too much into it. Just it's a dancey song, you like it.
oh, it's got X-rated lyrics.
not
No,
X-rated.
Yo, he's trying to get juice.
Yo, my mom raised her eyebrows when she heard it bounce. So
Yeah.
I was like, we cool? She's like,
It's
yeah,
not
we cool.
got any X-rated lyrics, guys. It's perfectly
You're
fun.
gonna like
Perfectly
fun
PG.
for all ages, and I hope it'll be out soon, and you guys
It's not like
really
whack.
love it.
Filhaal by Towers, produced by Jamal and Danyal. Go listen to it now.
Danish.
Danish.
Oh,
Yo, cut that out,
It's
bro.
the vape.
Cut that out.
It's the vape.
ये किसने
not
कहा
cutting
था?
any of that
नहीं, नहीं. Produced by Jamal and Danish Khwaja. Co-produced by Danish Khwaja and Jamal, and
And go listen to it.
that's good. Thanks so much, guys, for coming on.
thank you for having
And,
us, bro. Thank you for having us.
Next time, dude. Next time, you guys will have an album out, hopefully,
hopefully.
and we'll have a lot
By
to
the time
discuss.
this drops, that song's out.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, guys.